So tariffs. What are tariffs? Well, tariffs are essentially a tax that a country will place on any imports into their country, any imports or services. And you might think, why would they do this? Well, you have to see it from their point of view. What they're trying to do, essentially, is improve businesses locally in their own country and protect their businesses. A good example of this would be America with regards to Elon Musk and the Tesla, and the competitors BYD, which is from China, if you didn't know. Now, BYD, those cars are probably just as good, if not better, but a heck of a lot cheaper than the Tesla. And so far, places in Europe are also buying these type of cars. Not surprising, right? Because Volkswagen hasn't got any cloud capital. So these cars are obviously going to affect the business of Tesla within the United States. And it's not surprising that Elon Musk is also now part of the government alongside Donald Trump, who loves his tariffs. But essentially, let's say these cars cost about 30k to buy, and America will slap down an extra 30k tariff on top. So essentially, now the Chinese will get 30k, but the American government will also get 30k. And who will suffer? Well, the consumers in America who want to buy this car, but are now forced to pay double the price because of that tax that has been levied from the government. So, I mean, that's obviously going to make those imported goods and services become a lot more expensive and frankly not affordable for the consumers within that country. But conversely, what China could do then is impose their tariffs in response to that country and affect them that way. And then that way that you could have a trade war going back and forth, which at the end of the day, the people who suffer most are the consumers in both countries. And who benefits? Well, it's more money for the government, essentially, in their big fat pockets, right? And Trump is a businessman, so that's what he's going to do. But you can also say businesses in the home country have a better chance of competing because now they have the incentive to produce those products, and they know that they can make good profits and still slightly undercut those imported vehicles, which are a lot more expensive than the consumer really can afford. So in a nutshell, that's what tariffs do. It's the people in the countries that the residents who are going to suffer the most, so the consumers, and people who frankly have those type of jobs, who are producing those cars. You know, if they can't sell those cars, then who's going to get axed? The workers, right? And then what's going to happen? They're probably going to end up trying to get a job in the United States of America anyway. For example, Mexico. If you've got a tariff on Mexico goods, then they're not going to be able to sell them. Then the person in the country of Mexico is going to be thinking, well, either I go home and starve or I migrate to America, which is just completely incoherent, really, because you're basically not tackling the migration issue at all. You're actually causing a problem. So just to summarize, tariff at the very top level really just benefits the governments and you can say businesses locally, but really, really screws over the consumers.